Welcome to the shop. Hope you're having a great day. Alright, it's time to get these two knives looking like this knife. Are you ready? Here we go. Welcome back. So I was going to put the footage from last video in here first, but I think I'll put the lathe work in right now because they're kind of be more relevant. Spoiler alert, it's already done. That's why I had to reshoot all this. I'm kind of trying to figure out if I like the brass or the silver. Who knows, I might change it up last second since I got both. This is actually a stand-in because the other one's already done. Alright, to the lathe. So that was probably 30 seconds of slow motion, but man, that took forever. I got a centering bit set up in here. The same things I use on my, when I'm drilling holes and all that. That's where I got the idea, centering bits. So I want to put a centering hole to hold this pin, but first I got to face this off right here. So I had to come over here and center it up with this to make sure I'm centered and all that. Whew. I had to change everything up on here. I forget how close these are when you put them near, but I wanted them straight as possible, so. Alright, so let's just take a little bit off of here. Then we'll drill this hole and see where we're at. This is a high speed, so I'm only going to go at like 600 RPMs or something. Yeah, what a bad design. Look how those two hit right there. Good Lord. That's definitely a pain in the butt. Now we can pull this part. By the way, this is not a tutorial. This is, I'm still learning how to run this lathe and all that myself, so. But I want enough stick out. Alright, so here's our center. See how it spins. So let's give it a whirl. I got the other pin, which I know fits. Got my calipers. 2525. And this is 3/4. So 0.09 we gotta take off. Another thing I'll do a lot of time is use these. Just to give us a guide to see where we're at, so. Now if you're watching and you have any tips on how to use the lathe, go ahead and let me know because I can use all the help I can get. I need to come up with a thing like this old Tony where it has the V here and you just run your drill to turn it around. It's funny, when you first get a lathe, you're all gung-ho to use it, but man, every little thing takes an hour just to change and mess around with and all that, so. It's like, good Lord. I'm used to setup on the mill taking a while, but man, every little thing. I definitely got to start making some tools to make this faster. There we go. It was hitting this, I had to change it all up. We're close. Let's see where we're at. 0.28, so a little bit more to go. 0.03 to left to go. .26. All right. So a little under 0.1 to go. Haha, 0.252. And this was 0.25. 251. So now we'll just clean it up with some sandpaper. And then with some Scotch-Brite. Got one of these 120 pads. Got some Scotch-Brite pads right here. Alright, anytime you do that, you gotta remember to stay out of the line of this or you're gonna crack your knuckles big time. So I gotta do that with the other one too, but I'll do that one off camera. Then I'm gonna dome the pins just like I did on that last one. And I gotta cut that little piece off right there because I don't want that sticking out of the knife. Everything's ready. I did the old pins on the grinder. These had a few spots that I didn't like, so I cut new ones that are longer. But yeah, so this is one part I don't think I showed in the last video. I make the pins so there's a gap. That way you can get all the epoxy in and all that stuff, and you don't have to worry about it. And then you can just nail them shut. And they're, you know, the pins are in all sides, so you're good to go. But that way you can just slip everything in, boom, 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 and shut it down. So basically the rest is going to be time lapse for this. I'll put a video down in the links below and up on the cards. If you missed last video, where it's like a 30-minute video on how I do my epoxy handles. I'm just going to try to tie everything up. I did this knife right here. I'm going to do a time lapse of this, and then we'll come back, talk a little bit, and then I'll roll the rest of the footage for this from the last video, because 30 minutes was too long. Go watch the other video for the first part, and then the rest is here. Alright, time lapse time. Haha. So this one was a real pain in the butt. I would clamp the front and the back would open, you know, so that's why I put these clamps, but everything's so contoured, it's hard to get these clamps on because they just want to, you know, when it's curved like that, they go to grab them and they just slide off or they slide the other way. So, man, I sat there and fought this one for sure forever. It's all cleaned up. I did put some, that penetrating oil, that PB Blaster seemed to work on the last one. I cleaned it all up and then I put the PB Blaster on the edge. That does seem to, I don't know if it helped or if I'm just so meticulous that I come back every 5 minutes. Man, I thought that other knife that bit me was sharp. Woo! I thought this one was sharp with the tip. This thing, man, good Lord. But see how these barely come out like that? That's how these pins were on this. You can see, they barely fit. They would have worked, but I probably would have had with the epoxy and stuff, I would have had to sand them down and all that. I just figured I'd make new ones and make them bigger. You know, they just were barely it. This is good because there's contours in there, so I'm going to have to hit that anyway. So we should be fine on these. So I think that's about it. I'll go ahead and roll the rest of the footage for the fillet knife. Show how I shape it and all that, and hand sand it. And, well, there's a time lapse of hand sanding. Roll the other footage. I actually took my platen off. I see a lot of guys doing that. I've never actually really tried it, but let's see what we got. I got an 80 grit belt on here. We're just gonna hit this, get everything even, and see where we can go from there. Try to get all this epoxy off. I'm just gonna, with the 80, I'm just gonna get the pins down and get everything tightened up. Right there. I don't know if you can see that now, but see where that split up? So we're gonna have to take that down. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Hopefully. Here we go. No, right, woo. Man, not doing that one again. I was going like this, getting it off, and the belt cut right into the wood. And look, I had to bring it down deeper here. Whew. I had to take a whole bunch off the back of the spine to make it even. It still feels all right, but man. I gotta bring this side down now too. All right, whew. I'm gonna put my small wheel attachment on here. I don't like talking because I've been doing the woodwork. All right, I didn't have time to put my new wheel attachment on. If you guys didn't watch the live stream, I got this one, which it actually goes like this, but the way this one is, so, you know, this would be flipped up. But this one, see how this comes up? This one has a plate on it that I can put like this to hold the belt down flat. And I think you can get them for the bottom too. I don't like talking without my face mask while I'm doing this wood, so small wheel attachment. Alright, I gotta open the window and let everything air out and vacuum up in here with all this wood around. I don't want to get sick again, but the rest is hand sanding. Got my jacket on because the window's open air, and all the aerator things on. Hand sanding. It's just gonna be a time lapse of hand sanding. But look at that. Boom, baby. Woo-wee. I really hope that could show up. Yeah. Looking nice. Now I just gotta round everything out. I'm gonna have to put the ferric over this. That's fine. No problem. But yeah, we're looking good. Just got the round like this off with the hand sanding and all that. Put it in my. I'm gonna put it in my knife maker's vise and do a time lapse. All right, I'm getting my respirator back on. All right, there's like 80 grit. So the rest I'm gonna have to do tomorrow because I got this video to edit and all that. I took out a file and tried to get these pins down. I might have to actually get out my Dremel and all that because there's still a little proud right there. This one's pretty good, and this one's a little proud too. But maybe break out my Dremel and one of those little drum sanders and just make sure it comes down, because the file I was starting to worry about cutting into the wood. Right there I got a little bit to do, but man, whew, look at that. Yeah, she came out nice. Like I said, I'm gonna have to re-ferric all this. I'm just gonna take a rag and dip it and put it on there lightly, but I still got, that's like 80 grit, so I still got to go up to at least 320, maybe 600. Get all those bumps and stuff out, get everything smooth. She is finally almost done. All we got to do is the logo and the Kydex, and yeah, man, she will be off to her owner. I think that's about it. I got these all taken care of, looking nice. The one thing is, when I had to put that clamp on the back, I don't know if you can see that, but I forgot to come down and take it off and mess with it, and it pulled a big chip off when I pulled that clamp off. I think I'm gonna start cutting little 1-inch blocks. So when I have to clamp something down, I put the blocks on and then clamp on the blocks so they have a bigger space, a big surface area, because these rounded handles are hard to get clamps on. Both of them I fought. I see a little epoxy here and here. There's none right up along the ricasso or any of that, right where the handles go, so I think that's the ricasso. I don't know. Anyway, where the handle ends, both of them are pretty good. So it's either the penetrating oil or just wiping it every 5-10 minutes, either one. They work, so that's what I'm gonna do for every handle I have to epoxy. I don't have any run out or anything like that. All right, so I just have to do what you saw me do in the last clip on the hand sanding, and they're done. So thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't. Leave comments if you have any tips. Let us know how you do your handles or how you do your lathe work, especially the lathe work. I don't know how to run a lathe that good, so any help is much appreciated. Remember, there's Amazon links on my website, which is up on the cards above or all down below in the description. I'll leave a link to the description to the last video so you can see me epoxy these all together. And there's always a playlist. I make playlists for every video that shows the whole process of making knives. Hope everyone has a great day. And as always, take it easy. Hand sanding and all that. But I'm going to actually be going. I'm going to be going to the lathe and getting these down and getting them ready for this. A great day. The last video pretty much complete.